Hi, this video tutorial I will cover JDBC Batch Processing. Here in left side you can see server 1, in that Java application is running. Right side you can see server 2, in that database server is running. Both server 1 and server 2 are in different location. Suppose if you want to execute some 100 queries, then what we used to do is we will send each query from Java application to database server and execute one by one. Okay. First we will send SQL1 from Java application to database server and execute. Like that we will send SQL2 from Java application to database server and execute. Like that SQL3 we will send from Java application to database server and execute. Like that we will send each query and execute one by one. Okay. Suppose if you want to execute 100 queries, then 100 times we have to send SQL from Java application to database server via network. So this will add a communication overhead and it will reduce the performance. Okay. So to improve the performance and reduce the communication overhead, we can use JDBC batch processing. We will see next. Okay. So using JDBC batch processing, we can add 100 SQLs in a single batch, and we can send this batch from Java application to database server only one time and execute it. So in this way, we no need to send each SQL from Java application to database server. Okay, we can send a group of SQLs from Java application to database server and execute it. In this way, it will reduce the communication overhead and improve the performance. Okay. The batch process methods are provided by statement interface and prepared statement interface. Okay. Here you can see the methods which are available in statement and prepared statement interface for batch processing. Add batch method, it will add a query to the batch, and using execute batch method we can execute a batch of queries. Okay. Suppose we are executing the batch, in that batch some 100 SQLs are there. From that 100 SQLs, suppose say 50 SQLs are successful and 50 SQLs are failed. So in that case, if you are not using transaction management, what will happen is it will create inconsistent data in the database. To avoid that, we have to use transaction management. So if you are using transaction management, suppose say 50 SQLs are successful and 50 SQLs are failed. So in that case, we can roll back the entire transaction. Suppose all SQLs are successful, we can commit the changes in database. So in that way, we can avoid uh, inconsistent data in the database. Okay. By default, MySQL engine will be MyISAM. This won't support transaction management. So what we have to do is we have to change MySQL engine to InnoDB. So once we change MySQL engine to InnoDB, then the MySQL server will support the transaction management. Okay. And this is about JDBC batch processing, and thanks for watching. Bye.